From the Detroit Free Press, it's Wednesday, April 22nd. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
I'm ML Elric of the Detroit Free Press. As the retail sales manager for Hometown Pharmacies, Amber Gorby was in charge of ordering things like beach towels, stuffed animals, and smartphone chargers. You know, the doodads by the cash register that you might buy on a whim. When Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer ordered businesses to suspend in-person operations that are not essential to sustain or protect life to help fight the spread of coronavirus, Gorby figured she could finally work from home. And that's the case she made at a staff meeting at Hometown headquarters about an hour after the governor issued her Stay Home, Stay Safe executive order on March 23rd. It just didn't go over well, Gorby says, and by the end of the day, she was fired. Gorby says she was offered 8-week severance, but not the bonus she was owed. She says the offer included a non-disclosure agreement, so she turned it down. I knew it was hush money, she says. I'm not taking hush money. Gorby's boss said Whitmer's executive order had nothing to do with the decision to fire the longtime employee. Hometown President Jonathan Grice wrote in Gorby's termination letter, "Today was another example of our differences becoming something that spills over and affects the greater team. The disagreement in the meeting today showed that you are not willing to exemplify the values that Hometown Pharmacy is committing to hold its employees to." Now Gorby is at the forefront of a looming debate in Michigan about which workers are essential and which should be allowed to work from home. She has taken her case to the Michigan Occupational Safety and Health Administration and sued Hometown Pharmacy, bringing one of the first cases that could help define the legal limits of Whitmer's executive orders. Get the whole story at freep.com.
This is Christina Hall with the Detroit Free Press. An elected official in a Metro Detroit suburb who attended a mass demonstration last week in the Michigan Capitol against the governor's stay-at-home order because of the coronavirus says she will not resign. Royal Oak City Commissioner Kim Gibbs, who is facing harsh criticism and calls for her resignation on social media, says she does not plan on resigning from her elected 4-year seat. The city mayor asked Gibbs in an email Thursday, the day after the demonstration, to, quote, strongly consider resigning. He says from the photos he saw of Gibbs, who was spotted in TV news footage and wasn't wearing a mask, that she didn't maintain social distance at the demonstration and has endangered the lives of others. The city commission doesn't have the ability to remove Gibbs from office, but it could censure her. The mayor says residents also could try to recall her, but no recall petition language had been filed Tuesday.
For the Detroit Free Press Autos team, I'm Jamie LaRue. General Motors put the brakes on its app-based car-sharing service, Maven. Maven customers got an alert Tuesday telling them the service was no longer available, effective immediately. A Maven spokeswoman cited steep investment costs and thin profits as the reasons for ending Maven. GM started Maven 4 years ago in Ann Arbor. People could rent a car by the hour. Even workers who needed it to deliver food or drive for Uber could rent the Maven cars. It eventually was in 24 cities with more than 230,000 customers. But last year, GM began scaling Maven back in many markets. GM said this final wind down will vary by market, but should be complete by this summer.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist with the Detroit Free Press. Many people are worried that they might not receive their stimulus money soon. After all, nearly 80 million payments went out via direct deposit the week of April 13th. But you shouldn't worry because your neighbor received a stimulus payment and you didn't. More than half of those who qualify for stimulus money under the Coronavirus Relief Act will get some cash in the next few weeks or months. The Treasury Department said the first paper checks are being mailed out this week. More money also will be put in bank accounts via direct deposit in the weeks ahead. So many seniors who didn't get their stimulus cash last week will get money this week, either through a check or direct deposit. If you're a senior taking care of a grandchild under age 17, though, you may need to use what's called a non-filer tool at irs.gov to make sure you get $500 soon for each qualifying child. The IRS asks that some people who receive government benefits act by noon Wednesday if they want to claim a qualifying child. Otherwise, you may need to wait for that extra payment for children.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department and a look at the upcoming draft. No, not the NFL draft. That will come Thursday. But the Detroit Tigers, they spoke on Tuesday about how they are preparing for the Major League Baseball draft. That has been pushed back to a yet-to-be-determined date in July. Just about everyone who follows baseball believes the Tigers will be taking a hitter with the number 1 overall pick. But Detroit said on Tuesday, not so fast. Tigers Director of Amateur Scouting Scott Plius is looking for the best player available and will then worry about whether that player fits a perceived need within the organization. He also told the media that this year's draft is well-rounded and deeper than the last few years, with quality hitters and pitchers near the top. The Tigers are heavy on quality starting pitching in their minor league system and light on elite hitters, but it sounds like that won't impact how they go about their draft preparation.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer. See you tomorrow.